pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Yeah, that was really good. At Cameron Indoor.
Let's go college basketball.
That was Friday night. But I always consider the champions. Then they rotate this from Chicago. It'll be in Atlanta next year, D.C., New York, as the kickoff. And now you'll see all the tournaments next week. You'll see Charleston and Myrtle Beach and the ESPN Invitational, all the the Atlantis and all those. But I always think of this one as the kickoff or the tip-off because it's got just such great programs. It doesn't ever disappoint. Good morning to you, and happy college basketball season, I guess. Lobos will play tomorrow on the men's side, on the ladies' side tonight. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and D.C. How you living?
What it do?
You all right back there?
Well, we do have some breaking news.
What do you got?
Deshaun Watson out for the season.
Really?
Whoa.
That is kind of big.
Yeah, season-ending surgery announced 12, 13 minutes
Is it
ago.
shoulder?
I'm just going through the announcement right now, so I'll get back to you on that one. But, yeah, throwing shoulder. Yep.
All right. Well, as far as where the Browns are, that's a big, big, big deal. Now, how do you feel about the Browns' chance to make the playoffs?
There's a broken bone in his throwing shoulder, according to Adam Schefter.
Huh. How's that $250 million guaranteed feel? I mean, for him, it feels really nice. Right? That's a big deal. The Browns are currently a half a game back of Baltimore in the AFC North. 6-3, Baltimore 7-3. They're tied with the Steelers. They've been playing well. They may have the best defense in football. And it'll be P.J. Walker. And if he gets hurt, Dorian Thompson-Robinson the rest of the way for the Browns. That's big news. Huh? I see you guys reading on it. What are you guys finding?
Well, it's game changing, and they have seen Cleveland where they sit at 6-3. That defense, thanks to PJ Walker, has already played some football. It's going to give them a chance, but now they're going to be a team that goes from hey, they could find a way to win this division, really go on a streak to they're stuck in that wild card mix, and it's going to be back and forth. Them, the Steelers, the Texans, the Bengals. Now, if Buffalo can go on a run, they feel like, hey, this spot opens up for us. I think Cleveland doesn't have a starting quarterback. That is huge down the stretch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They lost Nick Chubb early in the season. They've been running the ball with Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt and running it relatively effectively. And, boy, this is big. I'll tell you, the second half last week, when they came back and beat Baltimore last week, it was the first glimpse of Deshaun Watson. It wasn't there in the first half. But I thought the second half last week when they came back and beat Baltimore was the first glimpse that you said, oh, that's that dude. That's Deshaun Watson. That's the guy they paid $250 million. P.J. Walker the rest of the way. So, broken bone in your shoulder. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know if that was something from the initial injury that was causing him so much trouble coming back.
Yeah.
If it's something occurred late in the game because he actually ended up being in a walking boot post game.
Yeah, well, he's got the
on
ankle
Sunday
injury too. Yeah. He's got a high left ankle sprain. All right, that's big news. Good morning, huh? Browns fans, somebody check
If you
on,
wake up a Cleveland Browns fan this morning,
somebody check on TJ. No, seriously, somebody check on TJ with
right.
his little orange Converse.
it's the
All right.
Browns, all right.
Hold on. I mean, it's always that way. What do you expect? I mean, it's whatever.
Deshaun Watson has worked for 11 games in his Cleveland Browns career.
And that's now going to be 2 years.
And he has made $90.8 million.
God bless him.
The Browns, baby.
I mean, who's
When
got a
you're-
better deal, him or Jimbo Fisher? Seriously.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because it's more money. It's unbelievable. All right. Well, that's there. Let's open it up for you. 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610 if for whatever reason you still pay a toll. Emails, jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, jj@sportsanimalabq.com on the Twitter or X _JJ Buck. Adrian's producing on TV. We are on Comcast Channel 26 and on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. All right, let me go back. Did you watch the college hoops last night? It was good,
Yes.
dude. Kansas coming back on Kentucky, the number 1 ranked team in the country. You watch some of these teams, man. They're so good, so deep, so big. The Michigan State Duke game was good, but Kansas Kentucky was fantastic.
Hunter Dickinson, the transfer from Michigan to Kansas, 27 points,
21 rebounds.
21 rebounds for the number 1 team in the country. I love this for college basketball. I know it's neutral court games, but early season matchups matter. And you need a little bit of buzz. And Tuesday night was perfect because these were the games I gravitated to.
No doubt.
I watched the end of that game before I flipped back to watch the Clippers and Nuggets. I wanted to see Kansas and Kentucky come down the stretch. The Wildcats, always interesting with the youth they have on their roster. John Calipari, what does his squad have? And then seeing Duke and Michigan State, especially Duke after losing at home to Arizona, which was an amazing game on Friday night, because that's what we talk about. We need more of those matchups. These power conference teams don't need to be scared to play meaningful college basketball games early in the season because they're going to be fun at the end of the year with their resumes.
Well, was it Izzo? Who was it? I told you who said it last week. You lose a game, Michigan State loses a game to James Madison in basketball, and they can still win a national championship. They lose in football, and they can't. Right? And it's the truth. It's just what it is. Duke won the other one, 74-65 over Michigan State, high-scoring second half. But Duke was up 31-20 at halftime and held on and bounced back from the Arizona loss. Mountain West last night, and we haven't really got into some of the stuff that's gone on in the Mountain West. Like Nevada beating Washington over the weekend. Like we never got there, did we?
We did not.
That's a big win. I think Washington's going to be decent. Steve Alford's team won. Yesterday, Colorado State beat Northern Colorado 83-64. Utah State with a home win over Southern Utah 93-84. And San Diego State beat Long Beach State 88-76. You get a few more tonight. Nevada's home for Pacific. Fresno State's home for Morgan State. And then the Lobos are back at it on Thursday against UT Arlington. Wyoming will get St. Louis in the Myrtle Beach Invitational. And Air Force will play Linwood. But, yeah, over the weekend, there was some interesting stuff. And we didn't really get into it. Boise State beat San Francisco, which is a good win over a West Coast Conference team. That game in Washington, this was at Alaska Airlines Arena in Seattle. This was a true road game for Nevada. Keenan Blackshear at 31 for Steve Alford's team, and they were up 41-30 at halftime. They win 83-76. That's a big win for the Mountain West.
Top 100 win, and that's what you want to see for the Mountain West Conference. Like the mid to back end of the Pac-12, that shouldn't be overwhelming for you if you're a top 4 or 5 team in the Mountain West Conference.
No.
Go get some of those wins.
Yeah. Bradley beat Utah State over the weekend. Wyoming beat Cal Poly. Kent State beat Fresno State on Saturday as well. So it's kind of where we are in college basketball. But it was good last night. It was really, really good. And like I said, to me, it's always kind of the ceremonial opening of college basketball season is when I watch the champions and the pomp that is around that. And certainly ESPN Events owns that game and that event, so they pump it up on ESPN. But it's certainly worthy of being pumped up, isn't it? Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Michigan State. That's a hell of a doubleheader.
It's a great Tuesday night. With good timing, solid basketball. Love to see it early in the season.
All right. If you're just joining us, and we'll update you on this throughout the morning, but this is a big deal this morning. The Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, out for the year. broken bone throwing shoulder. He will undergo surgery on that shoulder. It is now PJ Walker's team. That is a big deal. When we come back, NBA stuff. Hands were flying last night in the NBA. Everywhere I looked, Oklahoma City and San Antonio, Golden State and Rudy Gobert. Everywhere I looked. It's early, boys. I mean, especially that Golden State game, nothing happened yet. What's going on with the preseason tournament must mean quite a bit because these guys are willing to fight over it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
Wrestling right now is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Let's see if anyone needs my help.
They didn't even start yesterday, and they were fighting. Must be the tournament. It must be a big deal. These guys really want to win that in-season NBA tournament. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday opening drive. You're just joining us. Breaking news this morning out of the National Football League. Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns quarterback, out for the season. Broken bone, throwing shoulder. He's out for the season. Will have surgery. Hey guys, is that two starting quarterbacks that are done for the year? Him and Kirk Cousins. Is there another one?
Daniel Jones.
Is he out for the year?
Towards ACL.
I guess that's right. Okay.
Anthony Richardson.
That's 4. All right. No, that's good.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers.
That's why I asked. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers basically was out for the year. 5.
How about the twist? Because the NFL storylines, there's always something.
Okay.
Who did the Cleveland Browns trade before the season started?
Joshua Dobbs.
Who is the savior in Minnesota?
The same Joshua Dobbs.
Sometimes you think you got something, and they did when they watched preseason. They're like, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, this young guy. Let's go. Let's get a little draft capital for Joshua Dobbs. And now here you are, wishing you had the rocket scientist back.
Because he was the preseason MVP, was he not? Dorian Thompson-Robinson was absolutely the preseason MVP.
The preseason fools us every single year. We get so sucked up in football is back. We try to make something out of it. Remember when the Steelers were going to have one of the best offenses in the NFL?
No.
Because of preseason football?
No.
Oh, we talked about it.
Puka Nacua was going to be good.
And here we are.
Remember when Puka Nacua was going to be good?
It is fool's gold. Every single year, preseason football.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, so did you guys watch the hoops last night? You like the court that the Nuggets play on?
I do not like that one bit.
I don't like any of them, man.
No, it's just hard to watch.
I totally agree with you. In-season tournament game, Warriors Timberwolves. Barely started. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Jaden McDaniels thrown out. Less than 2 minutes in, Draymond Green had Rudy Gobert in a sleeper hold. Like everybody, I know that what his reputation is. Was he out of line?
Anytime you're putting someone in a headlock,
yeah.
You're doing a little too much.
All right.
Now the response was Rudy Gobert had his hands on Klay Thompson's neck.
Yeah.
So it was a valid response in the minds of the Warriors.
Yes. All right. So Steph Curry wasn't there. So he didn't play. And Rudy Gobert said he expected something from Draymond. Quote from Gobert. So all right, first off, 100 seconds into the game, McDaniels and Thompson. So McDaniels with the Timberwolves, Klay Thompson with the Warriors. They get tied up, and it was in transition, and Thompson held McDaniels' jersey while he waited for a long rebound. McDaniels grabbed Thompson. They both didn't let go. Thompson's jersey got ripped. They began to swing at each other. Hands were flying. They pushed each other, and it resulted McDaniels ripped Thompson's jersey. Thompson swung his arm at McDaniels, and then everybody came in and pushed. And so Draymond comes to the rescue, and Rudy Gobert had his hands on Klay Thompson, and so Draymond from behind grabbed him and had him in a headlock. Quote from Rudy Gobert: "Every time Steph doesn't play, Draymond Green doesn't want to play without his guy Steph, so he does anything he can to get ejected." He called it clown behavior. You buy that? He didn't want to play without his guy Steph?
This is one where Draymond Green's role is to be the fire starter, is to be the enforcer, to be the protector on the Warriors.
Yeah, I didn't think he started it. I thought he
didn't start it.
Yeah.
He was coming in, doing his thing. But Rudy Gobert's got a point. And I don't think if he's doing it intentionally, but this is a time where Warriors are scuffling a little bit early in the season. Steph Curry's banged up. These in-tournament season games still count towards your overall record.
Yes, they do.
They need Draymond Green on the court, not off it. And this is going to result in him missing a couple games.
Is he the only one? So he gets suspended more because he's Draymond Green?
Yes.
And he had
Because
to do the head
this isn't just second, third, this is fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh strike in your NBA career. And you straight up were going for the guillotine. I'm ending this in the second round.
Good night now. Warriors lost the game 104-101 to the Timberwolves. And as you take a look at what's going on in early season action, and to your point, they all count, Golden State is off to a 6-6 start. So whatever that means to you. I was watching a little bit of Oklahoma City, San Antonio. That game got away, and I watched hands flying there too. You see that one?
Yeah, I saw the Thin Men. Chet Holmgren versus Victor Wembanyama.
And Chet Holmgren with his Abe Lincoln beard. Like, he can't really grow a beard, but it looks like that super thin Abe Lincoln. I got this 7'2", how old is he, 20?
Oh, yeah.
7'2",
so
20-year-old who still can't grow a beard, but who's trying to grow this beard, and it's super thin, and it's got this Abe Lincoln beard. It's like, I'm flipping around. Addie's first thing was, Dad, what's with the courts? And so I tried to explain it to her. It's like, it's horrible. I agree, but they're trying to get the younger people to watch, and she's one of them. And then we're watching a little bit. What's with that dude's beard? Can someone tell him it's a horrible look? It's a horrible look. And then hands started to fly. Yeah. All right. Nuggets won last night, right?
It did. That was a lot of fun to watch down the stretch because you have the Clippers trying to figure out what they're going to do in close games. Because they tried to go to Kawhi Leonard, and then they're like, all right, let's give it to Paul George. Didn't really see James Harden and Russell Westbrook with the ball in their hands late in the fourth quarter. You know that's going to get dicey, and then James Harden is going to get upset. And there's spurts when they took the lead against the Nuggets in the third quarter. They're playing fast, they're playing small. You're like, I can see this working, Paul George hitting some big-time shots. But in close games, it is going to be very hard on the Clippers because they don't know who to go to or what to do.
What do you think of the officiating? Because Paul George didn't like it. Paul George said he should have gotten the line more than 5 times. The crew, the refereeing crew, was the difference. Quote from Paul George after the, was it a 3-point game, 111-108 or something like that? Yeah, 111-108. Paul George, Clippers, after the game. They lose. I thought we played great. It's tough. The adversity of playing against the extra 3 officials. I thought they were awful. But against the defending champs, we got to play better. There's a lot to be positive about. I'm not one for moral victories, but I thought we showed more of a sign of a team tonight that's close to getting over the hump, end quote. That's finable, right?
It wasn't the refs. This is the fact that the closing lineup for the Clippers of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, Terrence Mann, and Norman Powell at times, and you're trying to defend Jokic. What do you think is going to happen?
Jokic, 32 and 16, by the way, 9 assists. More quote, Paul George, it was bad. 5 free throws is very disrespectful on this night. So many times I got hit on layups, 3-pointers. It was constant. Oh, yeah. Jump shots, getting hit, smacked on the forearm. I mean, it was poor job. But again, we got to be able to beat these guys on their floor and not rely on that. Again, they're calling something on one end. They got to call it on the other. I mean, that's flat out the refereeing sucked. He said they were awful. I didn't.
That's coming from a guy that thought he had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Like he was big in the second half. He put up the potential game-tying 3-point shot, and you get a wedgie. Not on the officials, man, that you missed a shot.
I didn't see the game. I mean, does he have a point?
No,
he does not. Okay.
Let's look at this down the stretch. If you want to get to the foul line more, like you're playing a small lineup, settling for jumpers. What do you want? And the Nuggets were posting up Jokic in the post. And Nikola Jokic, at the end of the day, he's 14 of 14 at the foul line because he's going inside. You're not playing Zubac, and you're double teaming him and fouling him. What's gonna you know basketball, right? What's gonna happen if you're going inside, a bunch of small dudes trying to guard a big guy is going to the basket, it's probably going to the free throw line versus you settling for jumpers. Where are you gonna go? Not to the foul line that much.
All right, 111-108. Nuggets were winners last night. They're 9-2, and they're off to a pretty good start.
Jamal Murray's not playing,
and they're still off to a 9-2 start. Clippers are 3-7. Jerry, you want to talk about the Clippers? Good morning, Jerry.
Morning, fellas. How's it going?
Good. How you living?
I'm fantastic. So you guys are not the only ones saying this, but I keep hearing people talk about, oh, the Clippers got to figure it out. I just wait till the Clippers figure it out. Come on, bro. The Clippers, they just give them some time.
I don't buy it.
What is to figure out? Yeah. Like, we've seen this before. We have seen this on, 3 teams now before? James Harden doesn't work.
Yep.
You can't take a group of stars and add James Harden like you add, I don't know, sugar to your cake, and all of a sudden this recipe that hasn't worked before he doesn't make things better. The last time he made something better was in Oklahoma City, and they are looking better and better every day for choosing Serge Ibaka over James Harden, no matter how bad that probably was. But it doesn't work. I don't know why people think this was going to work at all.
With you, man.
I think Steve Ballmer was the only one.
He was. And Jerry, this would be a great team in 2016. It would. But it's not going to work now.
No one's stopping this team in 2016, right?
Right, but it's 2023. Now, appreciate the call, man. Enjoy the day. He's not wrong. I don't think it's going to work. Do you? I mean,
why would you trust James Harden?
I wouldn't.
That's a team that if they stayed the way they were, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, like Russell Westbrook showed he can fit in. He's still going to play hard, do his thing. But now you add James Harden, and you just see at the end of games, it's just a bunch of ISO basketball, like every single possession. And you're like, oh, let's give Kawhi a shot. Let's give Paul George a shot. You know, James Harden's going to stop complaining because he didn't get a lot of shots late.
Promise.
Here we go.
Promise. And when we come back, college football playoff standings came out yesterday. A little movement, and not the right movement. And the answer isn't just get out of the Pac-12. If you're going to tell me the Pac-12 is the best damn league in college football this year, and I think it is, but the team that's sitting at the top can't get in, I think they will. But what the hell's going on with that? And why is Washington being left out? We'll get into the college football playoff when we come back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and tomorrow night football. Cold winter weather is coming quickly, and it will not be kind to your vehicle. Give your car the protection it needs and get a visit from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. OTS, I'm telling you, I recommend it because not only do they offer great detailing services, but they offer ceramic coating and paint protection film, and they work like magic. No more mud, dirt, water, stains. That protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint, and you get an opportunity to get a lifetime warranty, so you can't go wrong. And they come to you and do all this. People keep asking me, they really come out to you? Yes, I don't know where they are. They don't have a shop where they do all this. At your convenience. So while you're in the office, they're in the parking lot. While you're in the house, they're in the driveway. Wherever it works for you, that's where they will get this done. The detailing is tremendous. Your car will look and feel and smell like the day you took it off the lot. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers window tint services as well, and they offer a 10% discount to our military and teachers. All of it's online. Go take a look at them. OTSdetailing.com. You can book there as well. OTSdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glass.
Yesterday, as they do on Tuesdays, it's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. So there was some movement, which is not the movement people west of the Mississippi were hoping to see, I think. Georgia overtook Ohio State for the #1 spot. Bulldogs are coming off a win over Ole Miss, and Missouri ranked 13th and 9th respectively. So that bolsters their resume and their schedule. So Washington beat Utah last weekend, who dropped to 22. And I guess Utah's 3-3 in their last 6 games. And I guess people are not that impressed with Utah anymore. But Washington is sitting outside. They're sitting outside. Theoretically, this thing works itself out, right? If Washington runs the table, Ohio State and Michigan will play. One of them will lose. If Georgia runs the table, Florida State and Washington runs the table, you got your 4 undefeateds, you play them, right? Everything's fine. Everything's picture perfect once again. I know that after watching football in November, something crazy happens every single year. But I also know that this version of the college football playoff, JJ, almost always works itself out. Almost always. Florida State's got North Alabama left. Then they play Florida, which Florida's 5-5, but it's a big rivalry game and it means a lot. And then they'll play the ACC championship game against, as of now, Louisville. They're not going to lose, right? I mean, do you see them losing?
No.
So Washington would get in. I think the question is if Oregon beats Washington in the Pac-12 championship, which is very plausible, right?
Yes, it is.
Will a 1-loss Oregon as a conference champion, assuming they get through their next 2 games, including the Civil War with Oregon State, which, by the way, is not a given. I mean, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you with Bedlam, with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Look out. And Oregon State's really good. But would a 1-loss Pac-12 champion get in over a 1-loss Ohio State or Michigan who's not a champion?
And at that point, they would. But you have to have a little hesitation. the fact that they have Washington where they do.
Seriously.
Because to me, Washington beating Oregon is better than Florida State beating LSU. And so why wouldn't they have Washington?
You're talking about what are their best wins, right? And LSU is ranked 15th, and they are 7-3. And Oregon is ranked 6th. They're 9-1. Their only loss was that one possession loss to Washington. That's what. And I look at the whole body of work, and isn't that what they tell me all the time, or is that just a college basketball thing? I can't remember. But I look at the whole body of work, and it feels to me like what Washington has gone through. You can tell me Boise State's not very good. Arizona's ranked. Oregon's ranked. USC's ranked. Utah's ranked. Oregon State's ranked. They've gone through all of that. They get Oregon State this week. The Civil War's this week.
There's Washington. Because Duke's not ranked anymore. USC's not ranked anymore.
USC's not ranked anymore. You're right.
But
You're right.
Utah still is.
Utah is. Yep.
And so I just look at
Arizona is.
How they view the teams that each have played, and it would feel that Washington, an undefeated Washington, has a schedule that's good enough for me to even say they should be 3, not just 4. They should be above Michigan right now.
I don't understand it. I know we talked to Jerry about it last week, and I just don't get it yet. Florida State beat LSU to start the season. Beat them handily. At the time, LSU was ranked 5th. It was a really nice win. LSU's lost twice since then. They beat Southern Miss, Boston College by 2, Clemson by a touchdown.
But isn't this, like, are we viewing this in the moment or when you played that team? And that's kind of the thing with the college football playoff. You don't know what
when you played that team. I mean, does that make any difference as far as LSU?
No, because that would actually add to Washington's resume then.
I would think
because when
so.
they played these other ranked teams, they're not ranked now because they beat them.
Yeah.
And so this is, it's a debate. We're talking about the college football playoff. This would actually be the year the Pac-12 would be like, man, we'd be in a fantastic position if this was a 12-team playoff. It would be us that would be getting all the dudes in.
Well, if they were in a 12-team playoff, they'd get probably 3 in. Oregon State would be the last at large as of right now. And then it would be Tulane as the last team in, right? And it would be Oregon State again. Actually, it'd be Oregon State against Oregon in the first round, which would be something else. The way they have it right now. And Tulane against Washington. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, we get the bye. I just look at it and I scratch my head because all year long I've been told the Pac-12, and I've watched it, and I agree with it. The Pac-12 is the best league. And I buy it. Top to bottom. Right now, do they have the best team? Look, Georgia and Alabama may be the best 2 teams for all of them. Who did Alabama lose to? A&M? Texas, that's right, Texas. And Texas is 7. And Texas lost to Oklahoma. Yeah, everybody's beat each other up. But this would be the year, man. But next year, you're going to get your 12. I just look at it and as a West Coast guy, and I'm like, what are we doing? How are we at this point? All right, 505-246-0610. Big news this morning. We had Brown fan walk in, DC. Did you see that? Dougie walked in. Hot Take Dougie, as we like to call him. He's doing traffic this morning.
How's he feeling?
Miserable. He's like, I got about 2 days worth of thinking we had a quarterback. And Deshaun Watson's out for the year. It came down this morning, right at the top of, really, 7 o'clock this morning. Broken bone shoulder. He's out for the season. Text line says fists were not only flying on the hard court in the NBA last night, but in the halls of Congress as well. What was in the air yesterday? Did you see the senator and the Teamsters, the head of the Teamsters Union?
I did.
Basically, and Bernie Sanders, you're a United States senator. Act like it. No. Can I talk? Can I respond? You may not. I have the gavel. Sit down. You'll get your chance. It was unbelievable.
I just think it's so funny that it was the senator that was calling out the Teamster guy, saying that, hey, you said you'd fight me on Twitter. Let's do it right here.
Let's throw right here.
What do you say? We're 2 consenting adults.
We're 2 consulting adults. Let's settle this right now.
That's
let's
hilarious.
Finish
I love it.
Tell me you didn't want to watch these 2 dudes. And they were 2 in-shape dudes. And the senator's a mixed martial arts guy. Teamsters union guy, I'm going to assume, has been in a scrap or two.
You don't get that position in the union without a scrap or two.
Right? Tell me you don't. Okay, what was the it was Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
They never got it.
We never got that. I'd watch that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch these two dudes go at it.
No. That had the vibes of, I'm a man. I'm 40.
Didn't it?
Okay.
Yes, it did.
What are you doing? You're a United States Senator. Act like it.
That's classic.
Bernie, get the gavel.
I would have paid $20 to watch that on
Seriously. 100%. I would have watched that.
We can be for lunch. Meet me outside.
I mean, don't they go find a back alley somewhere, a parking lot, and just get it done?
At this point, they have to, right?
You went after me on Twitter. You went 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 times on Twitter. You called me a clown. You said anytime, any place.
Anytime,
this
any
is a
place.
place. This is a time.
Here we are.
Here we are. Let's go. All right, let's go. Stand up. You stand up. You're a United States Senator.
You never know
Act
what's
like
going to
it.
happen in those things.
God bless it. Tell me you didn't want to see those guys go at each other.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no, I know. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. There's other NFL stuff going on besides just Deshaun Watson, although that is the big deal. Get through some of that when we come back, and you can get in on that at 505-246-0610. Danny Gonzalez spoke yesterday. There's some stuff, some guys leaving a little late season. I don't know, what is it, thinning of the roster? What do you call it at this point? Different guys leaving for different reasons?
Yeah.
And we'll get into that with 2 games left on the opening drive. Hey, the number's growing. International Protective Service has hundreds of homeowners who trust them to install alarms and cameras to keep eyes on those homes and businesses and to respond quickly if an alarm goes off with an armed officer. The reality is the police aren't coming for hours, if they come at all. In most cases, IPS responds in 7 minutes or less. During the holidays, many of you are going to be traveling. You're going to go to holiday parties. You're going to have packages delivered to the porch. There's almost nothing worse than coming home to find out you've been a victim of a break-in. Have you noticed International Protective Service officers at local stores, Targets, Walmarts? IPS is making a major difference for them, and they can help you too. They've helped me for years. I see Officer Cressman come by on a daily basis. They roll by my house every single day. When I'm out of town, they pick up the package that gets delivered so somebody else does it. IPS has a team watching video cameras and monitoring alarms around the clock to secure your home. Cameras are known to discourage criminal activity. Your home's supposed to be a place of security. If someone breaks in, it's devastating for that sense of security. Homes that are protected are far less likely to be the ones targeted by the bad guys. Call IPS at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Washington plays at Oregon State this weekend. Predict. But what do you think the spread is? Washington, ranked number 5 in the college football playoff, at Oregon State, number 11. What's the spread?
Washington, 3.5.
I was thinking Oregon State maybe 1.
Oregon State's favorite.
Okay.
Oregon State by 2.5. Jim said the Beavers were home favorites. If Washington wins, they're number 4. If they win as a dog at number 11, he says they climb over Florida State. I would hope so. And like you said, Washington scheduled Michigan State in non-conference. Too bad they were bad because their coach had naughty phone sex. Well, I mean, Michigan State became a mess with the Mel Tucker thing. Your guy Mel Tucker. But yeah, it's I would tell me why I don't bet Washington there, because I don't bet. But tell me why I don't love Washington in that spot. Oregon State's really nice. I like Oregon State a lot. They finished with Washington and Oregon. I mean, they could disrupt this whole thing.
Fact that Washington has come back down to earth a little bit. If you get caught up on the Arizona State game, or even the Utah game,
they should have lost the Arizona State game. That one was rough. All right, interesting stuff this weekend. We'll get into it with Jerry Palm tomorrow. He'll be with us, CBS Sports at 8:30 tomorrow. If you can be with us, I think you'll enjoy that. Arizona, Utah is interesting this weekend. Oklahoma, BYU. Michigan, Maryland. What do you think the spread is there? Whew.
Michigan, Maryland. Oh my goodness. Wolverines like 28.5.
19. Doesn't feel like enough, does it?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't. Alabama will play Chattanooga, and Ole Miss will play Louisiana Monroe, and it's that weekend, boys and girls. It's that weekend in the ACC. All right, 505-246-0610. Other NFL stuff. If you're just waking up this morning, big news in the National Football League. Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, out for the season. Injured shoulder. He will have shoulder surgery, broken bone, throwing shoulder. It's a problem. It's a real problem. So their guy is now P.J. Walker. Brown fan, how you feeling about that?
You are disappointed.
Can you get Josh Dobbs back?
A little late for that.
Who would have thought, man? You know what's crazy? When we sit here in August, we think we know everything, because then we know we don't. But you go through it, and you know the season's going to take turns, right? You know it's going to take turns, and we have a conversation. Who's going to be better? Is it going to be Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or Will Levis, or where's the surprise going to come from? And who's the surprise team that's going to come up that didn't make the playoff? There is no way to see Joshua Dobbs. When he got traded right before the end of preseason, from the Browns to the Cardinals cut Colt McCoy. And the talk was, oh, they're tanking. Nobody, except for us right here, did I hear anywhere, well, maybe Josh Dobbs is better than Colt McCoy. 38-year-old journeyman Colt McCoy, maybe he's just run out of rope. Right? But, oh, no, they're tanking and they're trying to get Caleb Williams and oh, okay. Who would have thought that Joshua Dobbs would be one of the biggest stories of the season?
The Cinderella story of the season, the savior for the Minnesota Vikings so far.
As far as those teams that have come out of nowhere that didn't make the playoffs last year that will, I mean, everybody picked Detroit, right? Everybody had Detroit. There really isn't one, is there, as of right now?
The Texans.
They're not in the playoffs yet, but yeah, they're in the conversation. The Texans would be that team. And the team that everybody picked to be in the playoffs that looks like they're not going to be is Buffalo.
I mean, the Texans are sitting 7 right now, so they're in the wild
Are they
card.
sitting 7 right now?
Yeah.
Well, because 5-4 to 5-5. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they played one less game. Well, and I guess the Raiders are right on their tail too.
Isn't that wild?
Well, remember the Raiders started out, won a couple, and then went in the tank, and now let's see. All right, I know Raider fan, you feel pretty good about yourself.
Beat the Giants and the Jets.
You beat the Giants and the Jets. Here come the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Chiefs. You start winning some games now, I'll bite.
At least you're not one of the 4 teams that lost to the Jets.
The Jets they beat the Bills opening weekend, right? And then they beat they went on a 3-game streak. Broncos, Eagles, Giants.
Eagles.
They beat the Eagles. The NFL is so silly. So silly. But it's you don't see it coming. All right, so you got the Deshaun Watson story. Yesterday, the Bills fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. You knew that. Jets cut Michael Carter.
Yeah, because that's the change they need in offense. Let's cut our third-string running back.
Well, I guess
we're not scoring touchdowns, so we need to get rid of our third-string running back.
This has to be tough because they've got a playoff caliber, if not a Super Bowl caliber defense. The Jets. Do you agree?
They do have a postseason defense.
All right. They had a players-only meeting yesterday. And, by the way, they waived Michael Carter. But according to Garrett Wilson, the guys talked. We had the floor. It was just us. We got to make sure we're all on the same page about where we're at and how the hell we get out of this funk, man. That was really the message. When it comes from one of your teammates, it always hits different. It always resonates a little bit more, end quote. I mean, God bless them. But Zach Wilson's their quarterback. I thought Zach Wilson would have gotten better. And there were times this year where I thought, okay, I kind of see it. I'm starting to see it. Yeah, I'm buying in. They are what they are, man.
They have 8 offensive touchdowns in 9 games.
So they have scored in the last 4 weeks 12, 6, 13 in their win, and 14. Was that 27, 33, 45 points in 4 weeks? 11 plus points a game. Can't win. You just can't.
And that is why people are screaming out Trevor Siemian. So why the heck not at this point in time?
You know, how bad must Trevor Siemian look? You know, Robert Saleh's looking at he sees it every day. This is one of those where I know we have these conversations a lot, and coaches are going to do everything they can to win, right? And so he sees it. I mean,
especially with that carrot that's dangling out there of, if we keep this thing competitive, that dude wants to come back and play football, and that dude is Aaron Rodgers.
Do you buy that? You think he's going to come back at the end of there? You think he's ready to come back at the end of there? He might be.
My thought this whole time has been absolutely not. But is this going to be the first because of the brand new procedure on the Achilles?
Yeah, but they got to win a few games. And here come the Bills, who are beatable, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Texans, the Dolphins. You got to win 4 of them. You're 4 and 5. All right, 505-246-0610. What do you want to do, Red Zone? You ready? Want to do Red Zone when we come back? All right, Red Zone. We'll go into the NFL Red Zone next. DC's put together some cool stuff about National Football League as we get ready to start the 11th week of the season. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Quarterbacks out right now. I mean, that's something in bye weeks and everything. Who'd you rather have?
PJ Walker.
I think that's right. Although one guy's got Garrett Wilson, the other guy's got Amari Cooper. But yeah, it's pretty rad. All right, you want to go in the red zone? Let's go.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
Well, we've had all this quarterback news. It kind of got me thinking that general direction. So let's start with Justin Fields. He might be back this weekend. He has had his ups and downs, but showed some pop in his 3 starts before going down with a thumb injury. Fields led the NFL with a 120 passer rating in those 3 games prior to the injury, after generating a 67.7% passer rating in weeks 1, 2, 3, which was 31st in the NFL. Those are the types of roller coaster experiences Fields must smooth out moving forward if he wishes to remain the starter in Chicago. So, what percentage chance does Justin Fields have to be the starting quarterback for the Bears in week 1, 24?
There's a 55% chance to be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I think at this point in time, if you need to see more out of Justin Fields, what have you been watching? Like, this is a team that they haven't been good, but he also hasn't helped elevate that offense. You just read all those stats, and something that stood out to me too was Tyson Bagent. Among the 33 quarterbacks with enough dropbacks to qualify, he is first in the NFL in avoidance of sacks. So he's only gotten sacked 3.4% of the time. Well, Justin Fields was 32nd before he got hurt. So that to me shows a guy that's trying to do too much, a guy that's kind of hamstrung by his athleticism right now. If Tyson Bagent is getting out of the way, making plays, not taking sacks, what is it with Justin Fields? And they're a team that could have 2 top 5 draft picks that can totally change everything. And I think the story is mostly written for Justin Fields.
I think it's 50%. I think it's going to depend on who the coach is, who the general manager is, because I think they're going to make a lot of changes there. And so what do they see, which makes me go less than 55, because new people want their guys, right? They bring their people with them. And I firmly believe you're going to have a change there. And what haven't you seen yet? I don't know that you've seen a full sample this year. I think people want to see him play football this year, and what does he look like? I agree with you on the Tyson Bagent thing. He's getting rid of the ball. But I think it's 50-50. I really do. They've got assets. They can go get a new quarterback. But it's going to depend on who's in there.
The general manager point in Chicago is huge because Justin Fields still essentially has 2 years under a rookie contract. So he's in his third season. Over again. Yeah, but he's in his third season.
Yeah.
If you have 2 top 5 picks, you can get the best wide receiver in the draft class plus a left tackle, or you can get the best pass rusher plus a left tackle.
What can you get if you trade? Somebody lower in the draft. Somebody at, I don't know, somebody at 24, 23, right? Needs a quarterback. Who's that? I mean, it could be Tampa Bay. It could be Green Bay. It could be Minnesota, right? It could be somebody like that. What can you get for him? Right? So I think it's 50-50.
Second and goal.
All right. Back to the quarterbacks. Mac Jones, who was benched in the final moments of the Patriots' loss to the Indianapolis Colts Sunday in Germany, said he has not been told if he'll be starting in Week 12 versus the New York Giants. Jones said Tuesday on the Jones and Migo show, "No, we haven't talked about that." Jones threw a horrible red zone interception on the second-to-last drive against the Colts on Sunday. He was then benched and replaced by Bailey Zappi, who threw a game-ending interception as well. It all added up to a 10-6 loss and a lot of questions about the future of the New England Patriots. So I'm going to ask you guys, it's Week 1, 2024. Is Mac Jones still a Patriot? Is Bill Belichick coach, GM, just coach, or neither?
Mac Jones is not a Patriot Week 1 next year. I see no way he comes back. They're going a different direction. I mean, to say what more do you have to see, I think we've seen enough there. I mean, I'm starting to lean towards Belichick's coaching somewhere else. And with the noise coming out of Washington that they want him, I can see him just saying, you know what, everybody's done. He thinks he can still coach. Washington thinks, or somebody else thinks that he can resurrect it. I think he's head coach somewhere else.
Bill Belichick's going to be coaching the Patriots next season. Mac Jones is the quarterback I can see on the move more than Justin Fields, because at least with Justin Fields, he's teased you. And you've seen the high-level athleticism translate into playmaking ability. You have so much draft capital. You can talk yourself into the positives of Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears next season. You can't with the New England Patriots and Mac Jones. And they brought in the old guard, Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator. We thought that would help out the offense. Mac Jones just be a little bit better this season. It has not. To me, the change for the Patriots has to be Bill Belichick cannot be the general manager of that team. But if he's like, well, you know, I got to be the GM and I got to do everything, that would be the situation where I would see him going somewhere else to have total control. And I don't think that's a good thing.
Third and goal.
All right, we started talking about this guy earlier, but let's be honest, Joshua Dobbs just got an incredible story. So he's made a significant impact even on the Vikings team and fan base in a short amount of time. Not only has Dobbs won 2 games since joining the team on Halloween, the Vikings have won 5 in a row since losing Justin Jefferson to injury. Jefferson is now back at practice this week, but the Vikings have made it clear that Jefferson won't play in a game until his hamstring is at 100%, which might not be the case by this weekend against Denver Broncos in Denver. So Kevin O'Connell said on this Monday, we're going to ramp him up. He handled the workload that we started him out with last week, opening up his window to get him back on the practice field. We'll see what that looks like throughout the week, maybe a little bit more here or there. Nobody wants to be out there more than Justin, but we're going to continue to be smart with it. The Vikings are currently 6-4 and are in the final NFC wildcard spot. They're also second in the NFC North behind the 7-2 Lions. The Vikings and Lions play twice in the final 3 weeks of the season, including at home on Christmas Eve and in Week 18 in Detroit. So, with all that said, what impact will Jefferson's return have on the Minnesota Vikings? What chances do you give them to win the NFC North?
He's going to have a tremendous impact because he's that good. I mean, when you're one of the best receivers in the league and you go back into a lineup, you have a tremendous impact. So they will get better. I think Detroit is better. Detroit's a game and a half clearer than them. And I don't see Detroit coming back to the pack. So let's just say they split. I think Detroit probably is better than them. Anyway, I see them as a wild card team. I don't see them as and those games, week 16, 17, 18 are going to be big. And that's why they got to keep stacking games. They got the Broncos, Bears, Raiders over the next 3 weeks. They got to keep stacking and put themselves in a position to be a wild card team, because down the stretch they play the Lions twice. They get the Bengals in the fourth to last week. So I think he makes a tremendous impact because he's that damn good. But I don't think they catch the Lions.
Vikings are 2-0 in the division. This is a 50-50 chance to win the division because you get the Lions twice in those final weeks. And Justin Jefferson can be the guy that swings just one of those games, that has a TJ Hawkinson-like impact. TJ Hawkinson went off in the first half. It had 10 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson can do that for you. And there's even more opportunities for Addison and Hawkinson in those games if Justin Jefferson is out there. And this, for Vikings fans, Joshua Dobbs is giving you a chance to see Justin Jefferson again. Because if this team did not get impact quarterback play, if this was still Jaron Hall, and then they lost all those games after Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson would not play the rest of the season. Because that man did not sign a contract extension. That man did not get paid at the wide receiver position. So he would have nursed that hamstring all year long. But now that you have Joshua Dobbs in there, they're playing winning football, you're going to get to see Justin Jefferson back on the field.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, with the Watson news this morning, the AFC wildcard feels completely wide open. So let's break down these possibilities. The Browns and Steelers right now both are in wildcard position, play each other this weekend. Okay, so we know that. Say the Browns are out based on what we found out this morning, and the Texans are a maybe because they have a monster of a schedule. Who then is in? Like, could it be the Bengals? We've all kind of agreed that could be them. Could it be the Colts? Do the Jets still have a chance? What about the Chargers, Raiders, even the Broncos? It feels wide open. So I just need to see where you guys are at on this.
I think the Browns can win this weekend. And then so it's not wide open. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers,
who just find ways to win.
Who find ways to win, but it's not like, oh my gosh, you're starting PJ Walker against the Steelers. Game over. Because the Steelers offense, I don't think they can outgame PJ Walker at this point in time. But there is indeed a twist because it went from like you for sure are buying in on the Browns to okay, they are going to scuffle just a little bit down the stretch. If I'm looking at the other teams, the Bengals, I still believe in the Bengals, but they're in a must-win situation. If they lose Thursday night, that hole for them. I don't think the Colts go on a run. Long shots to me are Buffalo and then just the Chargers.
So I think Pittsburgh's going to get in. After this week, they get the Bengals and the Cardinals, Patriots, Colts. They find ways to win, man. I don't know how they're winning. They're not scoring any points. In the last 6 weeks, the Steelers have gone 4-2. They've scored 6, 17, 24, 10, 20, and 23, and they win. I think they're going to get in. I do think the Bengals are going to get in. So now it leaves me with one spot left. That's Buffalo, the Chargers, the Jets, the Raiders. Buffalo's schedule is so tough. I mean, I keep wanting to say, well, Buffalo's got at some point, Buffalo's got to become Buffalo, right?
Do you have Houston locked?
And Houston's in that mess. Yeah, I wrote Houston down. I might lean Houston. Because I look at the schedule, right? And they're going to play that AFC South. Houston goes to the Cardinals, and they get the Jags. Broncos, Jets, Titans, PJ Walker, Titans, Colts. Hell, that kid keeps getting better and better and making a star out of Noah Brown and gets Nico Collins back, and the defense keeps playing. Lump them. One spot. Buffalo, with the schedule they got. The Raiders, the Chargers, the Jets, Houston. Pick one.
Of those, I pick Houston, but I think we're leaving out the Colts. The Colts have
I just don't believe it.
They have a favorable schedule. They've already beaten the Texans. I would not rule them
Gardner
out.
Minshew's good one week and horrible one week, and I just okay, but you can throw them in. All right, so you like the Colts over them?
I think it's a very intriguing possibility.
Okay.
If I had to choose right now, yeah, I'd say Colts.
Yeah, I don't believe the Colts, but that's me. But yeah, it's wide open. All right, good red zone. Really good. Look, you typed a lot. You did 2 pages worth of Red Zone today. I mean, you worked on this Red Zone today. It was good. All right, 505-246-0610. How to get here, 888-922-0610. When we come back, high school football semifinals are up. JJ, the best high school rivalry in the state is probably not what people think. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Your surprisingly great race? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets.
I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Animal. All right, if you're just joining us this morning, just waking up, getting into the world, big news in the National Football League today. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, out for the season with an injured shoulder. MRI showed he needs surgery on his throwing shoulder. He has a broken bone in there. Big news as as Deshaun Watson is out for.
Got Marshall Faulk on the brain.
Marshall Faulk on the brain. As Deshaun Watson's out for the season. All right, hey, big weekend in high school sports, right? State semifinals. You got so many great matchups. So I was going through this, and tell me if I'm completely ridiculous on this. The best rivalry in high school sports, and I've told you it may not be what you think it is. So when you think of best rivalries in high school sports, what do you think? Cleveland, Rio Rancho, Mayfield, Las Cruces, right? Maybe El Dorado, La Cueva, right? All in football. For the past 26 years, and I've been alerted to this obviously because my kid runs cross country, and it's been a whole new world that I've been open to this. But I want you to listen to this, and I want you to wrap your head around this, okay? For the past 26 years, for boys cross country in New Mexico 4A, Los Alamos and Albuquerque Academy have won 49 of the 52 champion or runner-up trophies. So 26 years, there's a first and second each year, that's 52. 49 of the 52 have gone to one of those schools. For the past 24 years, girls, Los Alamos and Albuquerque Academy have won 45 of the 48 champion or runner-up trophies. So basically, for the last 25-ish years, 94 of the 100 blue and red trophies have gone to those two schools.
That's impressive.
Obviously, being part of it, right? Addie has been running for Academy, and they hadn't been able to beat Los Alamos, and this is her senior year. Dad, I want a state championship so bad, and they beat him by 6 points. And finally, and Grady sent me an email on this. He's one of our emailers and callers about how slaying the dragon. I don't know, define rivalry, right? One wins 1 year, or 2 years, or 3 years, then the other wins. But is that feels like, I mean, can a cross-country rivalry be one of the best in the state?
Why not?
That's kind of my feeling.
That's what you're doing is opening eyes to a lot of people that don't. I had no idea.
94 of the last 100 top 2 trophies in 4A cross-country have gone to those two schools. Well, Jeff, how many are there? There's a ton of them, dude. I was out there, from Gallup to Miyamura to Taos to, a ton of them.
Maybe you need to move on up then.
Well, the funny part about that is, right, and those are the two best teams in the state. Metro championships, Academy beats Cleveland, and especially the girls do. The girls were undefeated this year, which is undefeated.
Pretty good. Never lost.
Never lost. Undefeated, never lost, state champions. But I saw this the other day, and James Yotis put this out, and Adam Kedge has been the coach over at Academy for like 26 years. But I looked at it, and remember Joe Henry, the former cross-country coach at UNM, who's now at Missouri?
Louisville.
Glenn Milliken went to Missouri, golf coach. He told me a few years back, he said, the most exciting thing in sports is the end of a cross-country race. I'm like, come on, dude. Like seriously. And then I kind of got into it. I'm like, you know what? There's something to it. And I don't know if it's the most exciting thing in sports, but it's really, really cool. And as I've gotten into it and watched it more and obviously had a vested interest in it. But I'll tell you what, man. I've got into it. I have no vested interest in Jana Raymer, the 8th grade girl at Hoover Middle School who was competing for El Dorado and won the state 5A championship by 2+ minutes.
Very impressive.
The first girl to ever break 17 in the state meet. Like, I mean, she's
Is that like Olympic stuff?
Well, I mean, I wonder if it could be at some point, right? Yeah. She's in 8th grade, dude. I wish you could go out and watch her. Because there is the All-Star race, the red and green is next week, not this coming weekend, but next weekend down in Los Lunas. So Addie gets to run in. She got selected for the senior All-Star red green, and I guess there's an underclassman. But she runs so easy, and I told you it's kind of my favorite story of the whole high school sports season. Where at the Metro meet out at Community Stadium. And one of the moms goes, "Go, Gianna." You know, that's how they do it. You know, go, you look great. And she's like, "I saw a bunny." It's just so unassuming. She's just out for a run. But yeah,
the mindset.
If you got a better rivalry, and I know a bunch of you, and up north, you'll tell me, you know, Capital and Santa Fe, and you're probably right. And
I don't necessarily think there's a better. It's unique. That is the rivalry.
It's pretty special, right?
Yeah.
There's
There's just certain sports where like that is the rivalry. Like that's what it's going to be.
What was Pecos? Remember with Grady a couple of years ago? Pecos and was it McCurdy? It wasn't McCurdy. There was a school they were going back and forth with in 3A basketball, and you had it every year. You know, when Hobbs was really good, you had some of that going in basketball. I just want to bring it to your attention because I saw that tweet the other day, and I was like, wow, like just wrap your head around it. In the last 25 years. 4A cross country has handed out 100 first and second place trophies, right? Boys and girls. And 96 of them have gone to those 2 trophy cases. It's insane. Los Alamos boys won the state championship by 7 points over Academy this year. And Academy girls beat Los Alamos by 6 points this year. And it's crazy because you're watching them come in. Okay, we're 1, 2, 5, 9, and 11. They're 3, 4, 6, 7. Right, and you start adding up the points, and you're like, oh, it's going to be really close. And yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's just different. It's just different. And I learned a lot about it. But if you've got a really good high school sports rivalry that you're part of as we hit this time of year, I'd love it. I'd love to hear it because there's some really, really, really good ones. There's some really good ones. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Talk a little Lobo football. DJ Wingfield, starting lineman, is out. You were at the press conference yesterday, the luncheon, and he didn't play last week. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach, said that he's had a lot going on. He had a funeral, and basically he stepped away from football. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a couple other roster moves that you get to this point in the season, you start figuring out, all right, who wants to be there? And I talked to Dylan Hopkins yesterday, and I really appreciate his attitude, and you hope it's one that the rest of the team takes for the final 2 weeks, and then we'll get into that on the other side.
Yeah, we'll get into what Dylan Hopkins had to say and looking at the final 2 weeks. Lobos at Fresno State. That's coming up on Saturday. And what is the attitude of these guys? With 2 left, they're 3-7. How are they looking at it? We're going to get into that next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610.
This report brought to you by Keller's Farm.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madmen home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Deshaun Watson hurt his shoulders because now he's doing it himself. He's not getting massages anymore. So he hurt himself by taking care of himself. It's bad form. I don't even know what that means, by the way. Deshaun Watson's out for the season. Shoulder surgery, right shoulder. He's got a broken bone in his throwing shoulder. He's done for the year. Cleveland Browns. 505-246-0610. All right, JJ, you were out at Lobo football luncheon yesterday, the press conference. So DJ Wingfield, starting offensive lineman, did not play last week. He's done. He's kind of stepped away from football. Devin Smith stepped in for him. You got Marvin Covington, a defensive back who didn't make the trip to Boise. According to, and I wasn't there, was it said this way? He's retired from football?
I don't remember that comment.
Okay.
In the presser.
All right. And then is there another one that you got as far as roster thinning?
Those were the big ones, especially Wingfield, your right tackle.
Yeah.
And this has been an offensive line that's been one of the best offensive lines
they've had a while
in the Mountain West Conference. Like, this is one where they are worried that they're not going to have these guys next year.
All of them, like keeping that line together.
Yeah.
When you say they're worried, kind of help me with that a little bit. Like
transfer portal.
Internally, they're worried about the portal.
Well, everyone's talking about it. I know some scouts have come in and been like, man, this offensive line is really good.
It's been good. Yeah, and it's been really an issue the last bunch of years. And I think, of all the problems they've got, it feels like they fixed that one.
Yeah, and so that's the one area you're looking at, because I know so many people talking the last couple of weeks of, play the young guys, get this guy in there, get that guy in there. Well, there's so many young guys on this team as is. There's not a whole bunch of freshmen that just throw out there. So one position where you can see a big 2 weeks is Devin Smith, who played against Boise State, who's going to be the starting right tackle over the next couple of weeks. This is a huge moment for him. He is a junior, so he could be back on this offensive line next season. Because the other areas, when you look at it, I know Devin Dampier, if he stays, he is the starting quarterback for the Lobos next year.
Right.
Like, no doubt about it. He's going into the season, and we know who the starting quarterback is for New Mexico. So for me, him not playing 100% of the snaps isn't going to be detrimental to his development. I don't think all of a sudden Devin Dampier is going to go into his last couple of games and be like, how is Dylan Hopkins still taking some snaps over the last couple of weeks? I think that's the right thing to do for Dylan Hopkins. Just give him a chance to play a little bit in his final 2 collegiate games, but knowing you still have that tremendous upside with Dampier. And that's, I asked Dylan Hopkins yesterday just about how do you impart on these guys that you still have 2 meaningful weeks? Because Dylan knows that he was coming off last week where he was super sick. Like talking with him, like he was
miserable. Yeah.
Like out.
Yeah.
And so he's excited to be back, even with the team not hitting the guarantee of going to a bowl game. But he's like, you just have to keep coming in knowing that everything you do on a day-to-day basis, not just to try to win a game this week, but it's for the program. It's for yourself. It's setting a standard that if you want to be better, these are the days that you have to keep putting in the work. I'm like, I appreciate that. Like, he has to be someone that tries to imprint that on everyone.
So Dylan Hopkins yesterday basically said, "Look, I got 2 games left in my career. I want to play." And I got it. I don't remember if it was on the text line yesterday or if it was an email yesterday. Mud was really unhappy with, I got to find it, that Danny Gonzalez said, look, Dylan's here to play. And I'm pretty sure I got to find it again. Unhappy with what Danny had to say about, letting Dylan finish out his career. Dylan came here to finish out his career. And here, Mud says it's very hard to believe Coach Gonzalez when all his concerns are getting Hopkins playing because he needs 100 yards to make 2,000. What the bleep? He should just step down. What do you think of that? I mean,
I don't buy it at all.
What Mud's saying is, man, we're done with him. We can't make a bowl. The hell with that guy who's in his 5th year who came here and has 2 years left. Sit him on the bench and play the kid. Is basically what Mud's saying.
But this, like, Devin Dampier's development is not going to be stunted if Dylan Hopkins still gets a couple series in these last 2 games.
I agree with that. And look, he wants to play and they want to win.
And Dylan Hopkins hasn't been the overarching problem. Has he had a bad game? Yes, he has.
Everybody has. No, I love the fact that he wants to play. That he's out there and says, no, I want to play. I want to be out there and I want to do things, and I think that's a big deal. And Danny said yesterday there'll be packages for both quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
If one of them gets hot, then
both.
he'll stay in.
And it's much more now that they had a full week with Devin Dampier last week being the starter. Like, Dylan Hopkins wasn't at practice, and then you give him pretty much the entire game plan for the first time, and like, oh yeah, Devin can execute it. And now that you're able to go in and it's not just zone read or power run, like, you can call legit plays for Devin Dampier. So I'm expecting both quarterbacks to get series. And if one of them gets on a roll, let's go. And to me, I know a lot of people look at this from a football standpoint, like, you can't do that. Like, yeah, you can right now. This is 3-7 football team.
Why can't you?
You can do that.
What do you want to see the last 2 games? They got to get better. Fresno State's interesting, man. We all sat here and thought Fresno State was rolling. They lost that game in Laramie, but that they might be in contention for the Group of 5 spot in the New Year's 6 game. And then I remember sitting here last Thursday, and Jerry Palm from CBS Sports sent me a text, said, what don't I understand? Why is San Jose State a favorite at home over Fresno State? And I said, I'm not sure either.
None of us understood.
And San Jose State blew them out, right? So 40-something team. And you're like, wow, what don't I get? And it was something. And so, I don't know, Fresno State, certainly Mikey Keene was hurt, I think, their quarterback.
But Logan Fife has played a lot of football.
It feels like he's been there for years.
Yeah, he is. He's a junior. And that was eye-opening. That was just a reminder of, San Jose State is that good. Like, they just played a really good non-conference schedule. What
SC, Oregon State.
I want to see
Toledo, who won a game last night.
To your point on the Lobos.
Yeah.
The last 2 games. I don't think they're going to be able to take huge steps forward defensively, but I want to see a turnover. Can you make a play there? Can you spark yourself with a return? Do something in the return game? And, offensively, continue to play hard. Because that's really where we're at. Like, I don't think in this game you're looking at Fresno State, who's still a good offense. We've seen what offenses have done to the Lobos defense this season to go out there and be like, they're going to go shut someone down. But give me a turnover, which have been few and far between. Give me an explosive play on special teams.
All right. What do you want to see out of the Lobos' last couple of games? They'll be in Fresno this week. A couple guys aren't with the team anymore, young guys. And now you're at that time of the year. Yeah, portal's a big deal. You're almost re-recruiting your whole roster. When we get back, I got a bunch of correspondence from you, including, is this still good enough to get into a bowl game? APR, what does that mean? And better high school rivalries than the one I told you. It's all right there for you on 95.9 FM. An AM 670 Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay. Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
Hi, I'm Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and
Watson, Cleveland Browns quarterback, out for the year. That broke this morning, having shoulder surgery on his throwing arm. So the Browns will go with P.J. Walker moving forward. 505-246-0610 how to get here. I got 2 lines open. Text line says, respect to that rivalry you mentioned. Said the best high school rivalry might be cross country, Los Alamos, and Academy. I told you, out of the last 100 first and second place trophies at state, those 2 schools have gotten 96 of them. But this says, respect to that rivalry you mentioned, Roswell, Artesia, West Las Vegas, Robertson, Rio Rancho, Cleveland, St. Pius Academy, Cruces, Centennial, Cleveland, La Cueva, Española, Taos, Roswell, Goddard. All good. All really good. Just wanted to throw something that was a little bit off the radar at you. Not saying it's better than any of them, although it might be. That's all. 505-246-0610. Grady, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Grady.
Unrivaled host of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
What's going on?
So, you guys are singing my tune with this prep rivalry stuff. Now, what you didn't talk about was a dominant program, history, that kind of thing. So, I will save that for a different topic, different show. But one of your texters mentioned one of the schools. I'll tell you, take a look at the Robertson and St. Mike's rivalry. Those 2 schools, St. Mike's out of Santa Fe, Robertson, hometown of our guy Jess and his alma mater. And those 2 schools, and I have very unscientific, I haven't looked up anything on NMA's website, but I can tell you over the past probably 10 years, in both football and basketball in 3A, those 2 schools have won, I would say, the majority of the championships. In football, they're on a collision course to, they're the top 2 seeds this year in 3A. Last year in 2A basketball, last year in 3A basketball, they were in the championship game, which, by the way, the Panthers beat both of them last year. But, again, different topic, different show. I can tell you that that's one that, take a look at. There's some history, there's some bad blood, and those two northern schools, they get after it.
I'm good with that. That's why I did this. I want to hear about them all. I think it's great. All these great rivalries.
Oh yeah. And I'm telling you, just real quick, a shout out to Coach Patrick Ortiz of the Panthers cross country. They've had 8 top 3 finishes in the past 10 years. So we're in the market for a good rival, but we'll keep looking.
All right, love
Appreciate
it.
the time.
Thanks, man. See you, Rudy. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning, Jeffy. Good morning, JJ.
What's happening?
So I want you to imagine that you're the commissioner of the Big Ten, and you're going to suspend a guy without due process, without a hearing. Wouldn't you at least release what you have?
Maybe.
Well, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about. I mean, I don't know the legalities of it like you do.
Well, I mean, if you're going to suspend somebody saying that they cheated, I want to see the evidence that Harbaugh cheated. I couldn't care less about Connor Stallions because the story I'm getting, and I've scoured the internet for this thing, and I really don't know if it's that much petty jealousy or if people think that Harbaugh is that much of a jerk. I don't know.
Thank you.
But, the attorney the other day that called in that was berating me, I'm sure he understands due process, and why I call Petitti a scumbag is because you don't wait until Friday, Veterans Day, when the courts are closed, when the coach is flying in the air with the team to the location for the away game and announce it. That's just not how you do things. If you're going to be transparent, and you hang around these guys, Jeff, if you're a commissioner and you had evidence, wouldn't you release it?
Yeah, I think it would take a lot of pressure off and try to make it understandable why I did what I did. Yeah, no, I think
exactly, and that's all people want. I mean, if there's that link there, then Harbaugh should get his punishment. But I know that if this was the Big 12 or the SEC, this wouldn't be going on.
No,
they got business to attend to, and that's trying to win a national championship. So I hope this brings Michigan's team together more. And as far as I'm concerned on Lobo football, Dylan Hopkins can play as much as he wants to. He's changed the face of the Lobo offense, and moving forward, I think we can count on much better offensive production in the future because of what he did and his leadership.
No, I appreciate you. Got to go at the top of the hour, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. What the Deshaun Watson move means and who is the big beneficiary on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Years running. It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, big news out of the NFL this morning. Deshaun Watson is out for the season. The Browns quarterback's going to have surgery on his right shoulder. PJ Walker's the guy. So who is the biggest beneficiary from this? And I think it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that as you look at that division and you look at what's going on there, Mike Tomlin was at a press conference yesterday. He said, I mean, his team needs to see more from his quarterback, Kenny Pickett. But I don't know. Who do you think the biggest beneficiary is? Because for me, it's the Steelers.
Yeah, right ahead of the matchup. And they're a team that they just find ways to win close games, man. They Tomlin their way to victories. They're outgained in every single game this year. It does not matter. 6-3 football team.
They're 6-3.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And then minus 26 point differential.
Yeah, they're 6-3 now. I don't know how they keep winning, but their defense has been really good. And Kenny Pickett seems to find one drive a game right when it matters, right? Quote from Tomlin, the coach: "Certainly, we're going to need more, particularly as this road narrows. But guys like Kenny and myself were measured by wins and losses. He and I talk about that often and openly. We know what our jobs are. Our jobs are to win, and so that's where we are. That's where our focus is. I love the fact that he embraces that. Down in and down out are some things to work on, certainly. But it's not like we're going to start on Wednesday working on those things. We've been working on those things, and we'll continue until we get the desired result," end quote. You just said this. The Steelers have been outgained in every game this season. Kenny Pickett is 26 in yards behind Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Jordan Love. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he's 6-3. The one stat that matters is he's 6-3.
That's eye-opening. You're like, wait a second, Kenny Pickett's behind those guys. Yeah. Guys that we're a conversation we're having is one of those guys that you just read should be benched for Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
And yet Kenny Pickett is still the quarterback of a team that is 6-3. Somehow, some way, the Steelers are keeping teams out of the end zone because defensively they're not good. They're giving up do you realize the Steelers are giving up the 5th most yards per game?
I did not know that. No.
But they only have given up the 12th most points per game. So they're bending. They're not breaking at the end.
All right, you can get in on the Harbaugh stuff, too. So Rudy just called about Jim Harbaugh's suspension by the Big Ten, and I got a couple of responses to that. One on the text line. Did that guy go to Michigan or something? Talk about a homer. To think that Jim Harbaugh was not intimately involved, considering the kind of control freaks that run college football, is not discerning in the least bit. People who are not control freaks don't get multi-million-dollar paying coaching jobs. The fact that he cheated is indisputable, and they should just ban him from college sports for all time. That way, nothing like this ever happens again. So I think what Rudy's saying, yeah, he did go. He got his law degree from Michigan, so he did go there, and so he is a homer. But I think the whole whataboutism, well, they did it, and they did it, and they did it, and they did it. I think the due process thing here is the issue, and he's not wrong when he says, okay, they waited till Friday. Yeah. They have the evidence on Tuesday or Wednesday. They waited till Friday when the team was in the air It was Veterans Day. The courts were closed. They couldn't get an injunction. And that's when they decided to let everybody know that they had suspended the coach. And you haven't seen the evidence. Nobody's seen it. Now, I don't know if they need to publicly disclose it until they go to whatever hearing they have. But I think it would behoove them to disclose it. But that's where it is. I don't think anybody...
I'm not upset about that. That feels like just a bunch of legalese, right? Like, why would you put that out there before you have the appeals and things like that? Because they're going to have another hearing Friday.
But I guess, yes, that's right. He's going to speak on Friday.
You don't need to appease the public in this case.
But in some ways you do. Because it's such a high-profile deal. In some ways you kind of do need to appease the public. Right? I mean, this is a big... We're not talking about... This happened at Louisiana Monroe, and they're 8th place in the Sun Belt. This is a team that's number 2 or 3 in the college football playoff.
And guess what? Your coach just can't be on the sideline on Saturday.
Yeah.
You can be there Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
They're not saying you can't play for a college football playoff.
But from what I understand, precedent, the conference has never come down. It's always been from the NCAA.
And so that's where I get the frustration.
Yeah.
Is did you let the rest of the Big Ten force your hand in this?
And that's certainly what it feels like.
And that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
Is that the rest of the Big Ten complained enough to where they forced the Big Ten commissioner to come down with this ruling. And the stuff that they talk about, like, oh, it's happening in the SEC and they keep it in-house, doesn't make it better. Like, the SEC, they stay together. They don't go after each other like this. Right. They cheat, and they make sure that everyone's on board with the cheating. Like, this is where we're getting to. Like, this is what we want. Yep, this is society, man. This is what people want. They don't care.
Les says, replying to Rudy, Jeff, when you work for the deep state and don't get due process, you're subject to the whims of overpaid central office administrators. We found that out with the suspension of Bob Davie. I'm not sure I understand the correlation. Do you? But okay. Yeah, I think that's where Michigan fan is upset. It's unorthodox, it's unprecedented, and they feel like he hasn't had his say, his day. And basically, Michigan fan just wants to push this thing to mid-January after they win a championship, or at least get their shot to win a championship. That's what they want. You want to suspend us after? You want to take away our championship? Fine. Go ahead. And that's where people are so frustrated on this. I don't think anybody's arguing that he did it. But the argument, well, everybody's doing it, Jeff. Well, yeah, you got caught. You got caught. All right, Lobo Hobo's in. You can build chicken and burger places anywhere, Jeff. Not another penny into these old dumps. We need to save that land for new state-of-the-art facilities. Basically, what he's saying is the university has just sold a bunch of land. That's where some of the, I guess one of the In-N-Out burgers is going to go. He doesn't want to see revamped renovations. Lobo Hobo doesn't. Into University Stadium. He wants to build a brand new stadium. Which ideally that'd be wonderful. I just don't know where you're getting that money. He doesn't want to put $150 million into University Stadium to make it better. If you can't build it, just go with that old dump, I think is what he's saying. Glenn says, how much of this Lobo offense issue is on Bryant Vincent? JJ, how many times this year, going back to A&M, Glenn says, have you seen the offense waiting for a play to be called while the shot clock's running down? If Lobo football's having a hard time getting a play in, maybe it's simply the offense. It's from Glenn. I think they got plenty of problems, and their offensive coordinator's not one of them. That's
has the execution been sloppy at times on offense? It has. Yeah. The amount of timeouts they've had to call because the play clock is at 1. Like in the first half. I understand you want to slow things down, control the time of possession, but you got to have the plays in there.
Okay. Look, I look at it and figure, all right, you got to, as you were just saying, you got to save your offensive line. You got to get better on defense. Honestly, one of your biggest recruiting things, if this goes forward, is trying, and I know Brian Vincent's got a contract for next year that can be bought out. Oh, yeah. How are you keeping him here? Because I think, A, he's respected, and B, the numbers are inarguable. Now, you haven't scored enough points to win, but you're giving up 40 a week, so it's tough. But I don't think it's arguable. Your offense is better, and you want to find a way to keep Brian Vincent.
I agree with that.
98-28, but still good enough for your game? I'm not even sure what that means. Rod says Lobo football has, okay. That's the score, 98 to 228. Lobo football has lost their last two by 70, Jefferson. The Lobo fans are still looking into APR numbers to see if there's a scenario where Lobo football can play in your game. Are these the same people saying an 8-3 New Mexico State is not bowl worthy because of the Aggies schedule? Yeah, probably. It's actually really good. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the answer is probably yes to that. Yeah. Well, maybe but Lobos are 5-7, and what's their APR? Yeah, okay. Yes. Ren's in on Jonna Raymer. Jonna Raymer's the 8th grader. Hoover Middle School goes to competes for El Dorado, won state championship across country by 2 minutes. 8th grader. Ren says El Dorado's going to have a hard time holding on to her, Jeffy. I expect another school is going to swoop in with big NIL dollars. Might happen. NIL. So theoretically, high school athletes are eligible for NIL. That would not be.
They are.
They
in
are,
certain
right?
states, yes.
Yeah. Okay. In this state?
I don't know that.
All right. Dan's in on Dylan Hopkins, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and David Carlton. That's you, David Carlton. I've had some fans tell me Cody Hopkins, he keeps calling him Cody, is walking down the ramp 9 days from now on senior night. Others have said he still has a full season left. Which is it? This is it. This is it for him. Yeah. Cody, you say Cody. Dylan Hopkins, this is it for his eligibility. Bourne wants to talk about San Diego State. Jeff, how does San Diego State get so bad so fast? Their attendance in a brand new gym is less than what they were drawing at Jack Murphy. It's a real question. How did San Diego State get so bad so fast, JJ?
Because they never improved on offense. Never improved. They had lights out defenses that were getting them by. And they could never figure out an offense.
Because they got bad quick.
So your defense regresses some, and your offense is still bad. Here you go.
Yeah, no, it got bad pretty quick. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The Pac 2 or the 2-pack is moving forward. Judge got in yesterday about the assets. The 10 schools leaving, the 2 schools staying. Who controls what, according to this judge? What does it mean for the Mountain West? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentering trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Jewel.
I mean, essentially, that's what it feels like to me.
I would not want that to happen.
Nor
if I
would
was a
I.
Mountain West. I would hope that there would be some further agreement that would help all your teams, if not the majority of your teams, to not be left behind
Well,
in
and
2-3 years.
That's where I'm concerned for New Mexico, right? Look, it's about football. You can tell me about basketball and cross country and everything all you want, but it's about football. And I think there's a legitimate fear. So you're going to help them for 2 years. You're going to help them schedule. They get all this money. And then when the TV rights all expire, they're going to peel what they want, San Diego State and Fresno State and UNLV and Colorado State and Air Force and Boise State and Tulane and Memphis and have their own little league. And you're going to be sitting there going, wait, what just happened? And we helped them for 2 years and we helped them do this to us. The San Diego States, Colorado States of the world, we're going, yep, no, this is great. And New Mexico and Utah State and Reno and whoever's left behind is just going to be going, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? So I think that's a legitimate fear. So watch this as it goes. But as of now, the Pac-12 is going to be the 2-pack for a couple of years. They get 2 years to get up to 8 teams. And I think that's what their plan is. 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Edward.
Hi. Widespread panic reigns in college sports. Hey, maybe the Pac-2 will eventually be like the Hangover, and they could be a one-man wolf pack.
Maybe.
Right?
One pack. Yeah.
I don't know. What you just have to deconstruct everything, and everything we think we know, we don't know, and anything could happen. So that's the randomness of today's world. Speaking of randomness, the last 4 days, I've had to listen to my Cowboy fans saying that Dak Prescott's on a better career trajectory than Peyton Manning, and they're going to build a new wing in the Hall of Fame for him, fitting him for, he's having a great year, but enough. Like, 1/3 of your victories are against the Giants this year. Let's just ease up a little bit. But good game. He's having a good season. One of my favorite players, Burrow, in that game against another great quarterback who's doing amazing things, puts the ball in Boyd's hands to win the game, and my guy drops the ball. It reminds me when Wes Welker dropped the ball against the Giants to win the Super Bowl, put the game away. 2 hands on the ball, drop. Yep. Lose Super Bowl. The 8th grader, that's amazing, and JJ alluded to this. That could be a future Olympian we're talking about here. One of the greatest feats in New Mexico high school sports was, I think it was like 30 years ago. Remember that small team down south, Animus, won like 150 straight games in football? Yes. That was amazing. College football, you said earlier this week, only 4 coaches currently have won a national title.
That's correct.
That are, right? That's a problem, right? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. To me, that's a problem, but I don't know how it's all going to work out. But it's interesting. It's just interesting data. Last point, I think I have an auspicious feeling that the only team that can beat the Georgia Bulldogs is the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You might be right.
I think that's what we're facing. We may see a three-peat because you can trick your offense and you can be creative, and Washington has a dynamic quarterback, but they're just going to control the line of scrimmage, and they're going to shut you down. And that's what's going to happen. So anyway, have a delightful day.
See you. 4 coaches who've won national championship. There's only 4 current head coaches in football, college football. Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, and Mac Jones. That's it. He says that's a problem because the same teams keep winning. There was 5 until last week when Jimbo Fisher got fired. Jimbo Fisher get another job, or does he just go, yeah, whatever? He ends up on TV, and I got my $78 million.
Dude, if I'm him, I'm just cruising for a little bit.
Seriously, man, I'm finding a couple of houses and being where I want to be and with who I want to be with, and yes. Y'all don't have to see me, man. Y'all don't have to see me. You can talk all the bleep you want about me. I won a national championship, and you pay. And by the way, the $76 million is on top of everything else he's made. Right? He's already made millions upon millions. So I got $76 million. You're going to pay me $8.1 million through 2031. You don't ever have to see me again, man. I'm going to go do what I want to do with whom I want to do it. You think he coaches again, though? He does. It's in their blood, right?
It is.
And I think it'll be a power conference. Like it'll be, I don't know. There's a lot of coaching stuff going on. This is the time of year. There's a lot of word out of UCLA that if Chip Kelly and UCLA doesn't beat USC this weekend, Chip Kelly may be out, and people love Deion to UCLA. Deion Sanders yesterday was asked about the Texas A&M job. And basically, he said, look, man, I'm here. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. My dog's here. My daughter's here. Three of my sons are here.
I don't think people are taking that into account at all.
What?
That unless he's can bring his luggage again, like why would he move next year? Like Shedeur Sanders, it's his son. Shedeur Sanders is his quarterback. Like unless I guess if he, I don't know where Shedeur is when it comes to graduation. Could be a grad transfer after this year, and then make one of those moves. Like his daughter just started playing on the CU women's basketball team. Like that's a factor in it. Like him having his quarterback. I don't think it's a guarantee that just because A&M or UCLA is open that he's going to make the jump right now.
How much luster's off of it? They've lost 6 of their last 7. Right? They have to beat Washington State and Utah to get bowl eligible. They're probably not. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They started off beating TCU and Nebraska, and they had the world. The crazy game against Colorado State, then Oregon humbled them. They've lost 6 of 7. How much of the luster is off of this thing? Quite a bit, right?
But not for schools if you're looking at Deion Sanders, because A&M's like, we're in a much better place than Colorado. So if we bring him in with what he can do, we got the NIL money, and then just have the superstar, we're going to just continue to load up talent.
He's going to be up. His name will be up for every job, right? Whatever. Like if UCLA opens next week, if Chip Kelly gets fired, Deion in LA, right? And they don't expect as much as A&M does, so he'll get more time. A&M, I mean, all Jimbo's done is gone to bowl games every year, have winning seasons. Remember when UCLA is a basketball school? Remember when Ben Howland went to 2 Final Fours and got fired? They hired Steve Alford. You start looking at it in retrospect, you go, what are people doing sometimes? What do they think? The Bjork, the athletic director at Texas A&M, said we need to be relevant on a national scale. So that screams Deion, right? What's more relevant on a national scale than Deion? I think he sticks it out a couple of years. I think he to your point, his kids being there is a big freaking deal. It's a big deal. And I think he wants to do more than beat TCU in the first week of the season. With all due respect, they've lost 6 of their last 7. When they blew that 29-0 lead to Stanford, like
that, it shows who they are. Like they are so much better, but even when you overhaul an entire roster, there's still development that goes into that with new players.
100%.
And you're seeing that rear its ugly head. Like they've been competitive, but you have a game like Stanford, and that shows you that you need the continuity of the development, these players that you brought in to learn how to take a next step.
So it kind of erupted yesterday. Screaming A. Smith on ESPN said, Deion's perfect for the A&M job. And so he was asked about it at his press conference. Quote, I want to win a game. You think I really do think I sit down and think about that kind of stuff? What strikes you about me that you guys really think I sit down and say, yeah, Stephen A., come on, man, I'm good. We got to win. And then he was asked, what do you tell parents? And he said, I haven't heard one parent ask me a thing. And he says, I tell the parents what I told them when I came here. I'm here. I tell them my mother's here, my sister's here, my dog is here, my daughter's here. 3 of my sons are here. My other daughter comes to darn near every home game. We're here. I get mail here. I pay taxes here. I don't hear that. Maybe our recruiting staff hears it, but I don't hear it. I'm too honest with parents. I'm going to tell them the truth, end quote. He hears it, right? He hears everything. And if he didn't hear it, somebody heard it and said it to him, right?
Yes.
I think he sticks around at least another year. I think he wants to win. Bottom line is they're not winning. Bottom line is they're 1-6 in the Pac-12. I mean, that's the reality. Now, Jeff, last year they were a 1-win team and they were horrible. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. He's got Washington State this week. This is a battle for last place. It's in Pullman. Washington State has fallen apart. Cougars are 4-6. They've lost 6 in a row, JJ. You know what's crazy about Washington State? They beat Oregon State. Oregon State's favored to beat Washington this weekend. Washington State has fallen apart.
Football is football.
Football is football. It's insanity to me, but it is. All right, 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 888-922-0610. Hey, you and I think, both believe that the NCAA men's basketball tournament is not broken, right?
It's in a pretty good place.
Well, they're talking about adding teams and tournament changes. And what did the vice president of men's basketball say about expanding the tournament? That's near and dear to your heart. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Celebrate.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As
Colorado relevant in literally no time. Now, have they won yet? Like he said, give me time. This is the worst we're going to be. And we'll see. But they beat TCU, the defending at that point. Well, still.
We don't even have to go that deep, Jeff. He's Deion Sanders. Yes, that's different than him being Donovan Stevens.
That's right. That's right.
We don't need to break that down. Yes, celebrity matters in this case.
Well, and go for, if you're the president there.
And he's won. He went to Jackson State, won games. Like, he wasn't just handed the keys to Florida State off the couch.
Yeah,
like,
he had to bring his own luggage.
This is a process. He went to Jackson State, put in time. He's gone to CU, put in time. And part of it, he is Deion Sanders. So,
well, I get it. A lot of people don't like his act, right? For whatever reason, and look yourself in the mirror and decide why you don't like his act.
It's like insert why any high-profile coach gets another opportunity.
But what has he done there? Gopher. The amount of money, the application increase that has gone up, the profile that university has received, the boost in it, the attention, the national relevance. What have they done? They beat Nebraska, who's their rival. They beat TCU, who is the national runner-up. They beat their other rival, Colorado State, on national TV.
You know how many people watched that game?
It was the most watched late window game in ESPN's history. That 10 o'clock Eastern time. It was the most watched game in ESPN. I mean, so what has he done there? That's what he's done there. That's what he's done. Has he brought exposure to the programmer himself? Both. Now, when he's gone, will it be in a better place? That's a fair conversation. If Donovan Stevens goes in and replaces Deion Sanders when they leave, but Gopher, he's brought exposure to the program. The stats are out there how applications have increased to the university, how donations have increased to the university, how ticket sales have gone up, how the revenue is, 100%. Yeah, it's both is the answer. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to get into this real quick. So, JJ, I think I was gone when this happened. The NCAA announced the changes to the NIT, which I hated. It guarantees 12 spots from teams in power conferences. So mid-major coaches and commissioners have been vocal, criticizing the move. Dan Gavitz, the NCAA vice president of men's basketball in postseason. And there's been a lot of talk about expanding the NCAA tournament. Well, only 17% of teams get in and 68, whatever the number is, of bowl teams, and it's not fair. JJ, the most perfect sporting event we have in our country, the best sporting event year in and year out, is not the Super Bowl, it's the NCAA tournament. Gavitz said expansion is, quote, not necessarily inevitable. But the officials have to consider the impact of rapidly evolving climate in collegiate sports. Do you get the feeling they're going to expand this?
I get the feeling that there's probably going to be some expansion, and it's all going to be geared towards Power 6.
100%.
Just like they did with the NIT. They eliminated automatic bids for regular season conference champs.
Right. The way it used to be, if you win a regular season conference championship and don't win your tournament, meaning you get your automatic bid into the NCAA tournament, you were guaranteed a spot in the NIT. Now that is no longer.
Off the table.
I thought that was one of the best things they had done.
Because they believe that not 500 in conference, 500 overall, Power 6 teams are better
than
for television
teams.
Better for television ratings than a Utah Valley team.
Yeah.
In the NIT.
They hated watching Utah Valley versus UAB in the NIT finals last year. And you're going to sit here and tell me, well, I did too. Well, then why play them? And that's what they're doing. Now they're just saying, why play them? You're right. I don't want to find out who the next best team is. I just want to find out who the next best power team is, because you're going to like watching Georgia Tech play Cal, or you're going to like watching Iowa State play North Carolina State. Way better than those teams during the right. I freaking hate it, but it's where we are. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, fellas. But yeah, I mean, along those lines, I mean, you look at just the disparity in money, right? Look at A&M. Yeah, we'll buy out that $73 million contract. No big deal.
How about that?
I mean, I can't remember the last time I heard $73 million float around UNM. You know what I'm saying? So that just tells you the disparity in money. Just really quick, though, different topic, maybe along the same lines, is what is the latest, and maybe I haven't heard, I don't stay tuned to the radio 24/7, but what is the latest on the Mountain West and the Pac-12? I saw where the two schools won some sort of lawsuit or hearing where they have the right, that's Washington State, Oregon State, So what is the latest that you heard, Josh?
Yeah, and we just went over this a little bit. So basically, Oregon State and Washington State can operate as a two-team league. They've got 2 years to get up to 8 schools. And if they control these assets, the fear is, or the talk is, that they're going to basically operate as a two-team league. The grant of rights to television deals for the Mountain West will run out, and they either merge the two leagues completely, or they may just peel the top of the league, right, and take what they want: San Diego State, Fresno State, Colorado State, Air Force, Boise State, UNLV, and go get Memphis and Tulane and form what they think is going to be a Pac-12, and somehow they think that's going to be a power league.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, and again, it's real early in the process, maybe not so early. I've got a feeling UNM is not going to be part of that. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, no, and that's the real fear, and again, it's football. You've got to get better in football.
Right.
All right, man.
And I've said it. You've said it. I've said it. You know, I've been one of these callers for a long time. This love affair with basketball, it's not the fans' fault, but just from a logical standpoint.
No, love basketball, but all right. Appreciate you, Marty.
All right, good.
See you. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, I'll wrap things up, get you everything you need to know as you go through your day. A lot of news this morning, and you still have time to get in at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 East Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From throws to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important.
Talking about as you go through your day, Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, out for the year, came out this morning. Broken bone in his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder. He will have surgery. P.J. Walker is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns moving forward. Got a little skirmish in the hoops last night. Draymond Green got Rudy Gobert by the neck in a chokehold, a little altercation. And Gobert called out Draymond, called him a clown, or at least called it a clown behavior, saying that the ejection was intentional because Steph Curry wasn't playing. And whenever Steph Curry's not playing, Draymond doesn't want to play. It's actually kind of interesting what he said. It's actually really interesting. And what else you got this morning? That's kind of your big news this morning. Georgia jumped Ohio State for number one in the college football playoff rankings, which was announced last night. Washington remains at number 5, just out of the very, very vital top 4. And you had hoops last night. Good hoops last night. Number 1, Kansas in the Champions Classic. Escaped Kentucky. Hunter Dickinson, 27 points, 21 rebounds. Look out for them, dude. They're really, really good. With him going there, JJ, they're terrific.
Pick up where they left off.
I mean, they're just terrific. Also, baseball free agency. Shohei Ohtani and 6 other players rejected qualifying offers as far as free agents. But again, don't you want to be in this position? $20,325,000 offer. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Not the pennies.
That's pennies.
Pennies for Shohei.
Yeah.
Let the bidding war begin.
Isn't that the average of the top 150 contracts?
Something like that.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. He just said, yeah, I'm good, man. I don't need it. Hey, this struck me. So remember a few weeks ago when Colorado and Deion Sanders played at UCLA at the Rose Bowl, and there was the story that the Colorado locker room had someone break in, basically steal the players' stuff, right? And Dion went on and said the NCAA needs to make it right. And I'm like, the NCAA? Like, how is this on the NCAA? This is on the Rose Bowl and the officials there at the facility. Well, ends up with the investigation, and this is insane. Allegedly, the people who stole these items were prospective recruits to the UCLA football program. They're all from a school in Riverside County. They've been identified by the Pasadena police as suspects in this alleged theft of jewelry and cash from the Colorado locker room. USA Today reported it. The case has been turned over to the juvenile division of the local district attorney, but no arrests have been made. Because they're juveniles, no names have been released. But they were prospective UCLA recruits from Beaumont High School in Riverside County. UCLA said the suspects were not on an official recruiting visit, but they were there. That's quite the twist.
Yes, it is.
Now, I don't know if the cash and jewelry have been recovered, but that's quite the twist. Like, I didn't see that one coming, did you? I figured somebody would have got in and whatever, but explain that one. How does that even happen?
They're just recruits walking around.
But they weren't even on an official visit. Like, how do they get down there?
Well, you can be on an official visit.
And so you just get down around the locker room area?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, check this out. There's all their stuff.
And so much for your football future.
I mean, right? All right, text line. I've always told you that I think that time of possession is one of the least telling stats in football.
It definitely can be.
I mean, it can tell you a story sometimes, but when you have quick strikes, all right, look, you had a 19-play drive and it resulted in a field goal. I went 72 yards in 3 plays and I scored a touchdown. Who wins? You had the ball for 6 minutes. I had it for a minute 13. Who wins?
Tutty.
Text line. Heck, UNM is 24th nationally in time of possession. They're a 3-win team. UTEP's 19th. They're a 3-win team. It's false narrative that time of possession equals wins. I don't even know.
No one's saying that.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's just the style, because you got some issues on the other end. And so you're trying to control a game a certain way, and it still doesn't work. Like, we can just, explain something, and it's not a end-all, be-all.
That's right.
Like, you just explain why the Lobos are doing what they're doing offensively, and why they take so much time on the play.
There's exceptions to everything. I just think that's one of the most overrated stats that almost never tells the story. Almost never. Tellus says, reply to Marty, Jeff, wow, is that the obvious statement of the year? Lobo football isn't going to be in demand for a more high-profile conference. The reason question is, how far has this season caused the Aztec stock to fall? It hasn't. I mean, that program, you're gonna take a 1-season sample size, or you're gonna take a 2-decade sample size. You're gonna look at the facilities. You're gonna look at the market. You're gonna look at. I mean, has San Diego State stock fallen? Yeah, they're not good this year. Do you think they fall out of contention for the next round of expansion? I think the answer is no.
I don't know. Market, football stadium. I'm checking some boxes.
Yeah. I think they're going to be just fine. All right, what do I get tonight? I get hoops tonight. I get Lakers in Sacramento tonight. I get Philly and Boston tonight. I get Philly and Boston tonight. That's good, right?
Always fun.
All right. I get Maction tonight. And then you got Lobo women's basketball tonight here on the Sports Animal. What do you got?
I'll be at the pit tonight with the Lobos and Texas A&M Commerce, a reunion game with longtime assistant coach Valerie King, now the head coach at Texas A&M Commerce, and on her staff as well, director of operations Jaden De La Cerda. So you're going to see Nike McClure, Jason Nunn on the sidelines for UNM, Jaden De La Cerda on the other side for Commerce.
It's going to be weird seeing Jaden De La Cerda. She's as loved a Lobo women's basketball player in the last decade as there's been.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right? I mean,
New Mexico product.
Yeah.
developed into an all-conference player, won a Mountain West regular season championship with the Lobos.
How is Texas A&M Commerce? Are they any good?
Not yet.
Okay. No, that's fair.
They're 2-0, but they played two Division II schools.
Okay.
So this is their first D1 opponent on the road. Like, it could get interesting because they're going to shoot a lot of threes. And so if you hit a couple shots early in this game, keep it tight. But I really like the style the Lobos are playing this season in the way they play defense.
Okay. So that's what you get tonight. It'll be here on the Sports Sound. What time you take there? 6:30?
6:30 pregame.
All right, 6:30 pregame. The men go tomorrow night. It'll be UT Arlington at the Pit as the Lobos try to bounce back from the loss at St. Mary's last week. Next week, the men will be in Vegas. They'll play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday in Las Vegas. And you go to Cancun with them. When do you leave for Cancun?
Monday morning.
Look at that. It's you and me next Monday and Tuesday. You all right with that, DC?
I most certainly am.
All right.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You guys have dogs?
Yes.
Are you a dog owner or a dog guardian?
I'm intrigued.
In Boulder, you do not own your dogs, as Mr. Sanders doesn't quite understand. You license them, and you are a guardian of your dog. They're basically citizens. They in their law, it says they are sentient beings with their own rights.
So
can they vote?
Can they pay tax?
Some
Can they pay
probably
their
do.
bills?
I'm sure some can pay bills.
Well, you know how many people are online right now like dogs voting in Boulder, election fraud.
But if they bite the mailman, who's responsible, the dog or you?
The dog.
The dog is responsible.
It's the dog's own actions.
It's crazy. You have to license them. Everything. It's wild.
All right.
Why'd you wait to drop that on us at the very end?
I was trying to find a good spot.
I want to explore this topic now. Next
Tomorrow,
on KKOB.
Are you a dog owner or a dog guardian? We'll do that tomorrow. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Two Men On comes your way at 4. JJ cracks the mic from the Pit at 6:30 for Lobo Women's Basketball. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the TV side. DC, I mean, aside from dropping that late, that was terrific. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Have a great call tonight. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
What's going on?
Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView